Welcome to Sandy's Kitchen. Today we'll be making challah. It's a really easy egg bread to make, very delicious. My recipe is extremely simple. I'll teach you the method that I do, and I'll also show you a very simple braid, how to braid your challah bread. Sit back, enjoy the show. Okay, so what we need to do is to pour our 3/4 cups of warm water. Make sure it's warm, not hot. You don't want your water to go over 90 degrees because you end up killing the yeast. And the yeast, we're using 1 package of dry yeast sprinkled into the warm water. And then I add the teaspoon of sugar. We'll let that sit for a while, about 5 to 10 minutes, to see if the yeast is alive. So our yeast is showing signs of, being alive. I'll show you it. It looks really nice, actually. Okay, so now when we saw that the yeast was alive, I'm going to be adding in the 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I'm doing everything by hand just so you can see how easy it is. Feel free to use a machine. Just when it comes down to the kneading part, please, whatever you do, only knead it for 1 or 2 minutes by machine. Otherwise you're going to overdevelop the gluten, and that is not a good thing. So, and our 3 eggs that have been lightly beaten. And don't forget that we put, a tablespoon. We reserved a tablespoon, which is in the refrigerator for later. Okay. I'm adding in the 1/4 cup of the sugar. I'm adding in 3 cups of flour. And on top of that, so it doesn't kill the yeast, I'm adding the teaspoon of salt. Then I slowly start incorporating it with my hand. Almost like making pasta, if you ever made pasta by hand. The reason why I use 3 cups of flour is instead of dumping the 3.5 to 4.5 cups of flour, flour is a funny thing because it depends on how humid it is and, temperature and everything. You might use more flour, you might use less flour. So I like to play on the safe side and go for less flour and then add it in after, because afterwards you can't do anything if you have too much flour. So I removed all the dough onto the counter. It's a pretty wet mass, my fingers are all stuck, and I have about 3/4 of a cup reserved flour here just in case. So I sprinkle some on my hands to get rid of that dough. And we're going to start kneading. Okay? And I'm going to be kneading the dough 10 minutes by hand. If you're using your machine, again, 1 to 2 minutes, please. More than that, and your bread is going to be, wow, incredibly hard. At 375, I'm going to let my bread come to another rise, a second rising, for 45 minutes. Okay, so the bread has been rising for 45 minutes, and this is how it looks like now. It has doubled, and I also removed the remaining reserved 1 tablespoon of the egg, which I'm going to be brushing over the braid with my pastry brush. This is going to just give it a nice coloring, and it's just going to give it a really beautiful appearance. Also, in the dish next to me, I have some sesame seeds, which I'm going to also put on top, but instead of sprinkling it on top, I'm going to place them on each piece of the braid, and I'll show you how I do that as well. I just think it looks a lot prettier than just a splash of seeds on top. Again, you don't have to do that. If you like, you could use poppy seeds or cardamom or whatever you like, but it doesn't need to be done. It can be omitted. Okay, I have a little bit of egg left, so I'm going to dump my thumb in it. And with that, I'm going to dump my thumb into the sesame seeds, and then I go on top of each little part of the braid, the top braid and the bottom braid. One thing I didn't say about this bread is that not only is it great fresh out of the oven, but also the very next day, oh, it makes the best French toast. And not only that, but oh my goodness, as well as it makes really good breadcrumbs. So like if you were to make, I don't know, chicken nuggets, let's say for children or for yourself, it makes great breadcrumbs as well. Anyhow, this is how the loaf looks like right now. Okay, I got it all the way around, and I'm going to be placing it into a 375 oven for 30 to 35 minutes, or until it sounds hollow when you knock on it on the bottom, but I'll show you that. So here's our challah fresh out of the oven, and when I hit it on the bottom, it is hollow. It sounds like a hollow door. So that's it, and it's a very easy, simple bread to make. So please make a challah at home, enjoy it, enjoy the wonderful smells that come out of your kitchen, and thanks for watching Sandy's Kitchen this week.